My favourite game of all time is Ratchet and Clank 3 Up Your Arsenal. You see, when I was a kid, my family would visit our local RSL, but it wasn't the food that kept bringing us back. It was this game, right here. You see, my brother and I are two very different people, with very different hobbies and interests, yet this game became our first true connection. What made Ratchet and Clank 3 so special was its world, the characters, the environments, the weapons. As a kid, it was otherworldly to us. However, every time we revisited the RSL, the save file would reset, allowing us to experience the game once again, as if for the first time. It became a ritual, a moment of excitement before our parents inevitably dragged us out of the game room when the food had arrived. But beyond the fun and nostalgia, this game shaped me. In this video, I'll explore how Ratchet and Clank 3 fulfilled my subconscious desires and motivations, using psychodynamic theory to uncover why this game left such a lasting impact on me. Sigmund Freud's psychodynamic theory on wish fulfillment tells us the process of entering a world we long for, an idea explored in the human dream state, and then later being applied to media. For me, Ratchet and Clank 3 provided several layers of wish fulfillment. The game offers 20 weapons, each getting more and more powerful. However, because our save file would reset with every visit, we would constantly try and master the first 5, never reaching the strongest ones. This endless pursuit of improvement made me feel a sense of control, something not very prevalent yet to me as a child. You play as Ratchet, a heroic underdog, fighting against the evil Dr. Nefarious. Playing as Ratchet allowed me to step out of my real-world self, small, powerless, and weak, and take on the role of someone strong and capable. The game's worlds felt vast, unlike anything I'd ever experienced. The futuristic setting let me escape the routine of life at home, fulfilling a desire of adventure and discovery. According to Tomas Pataki's work, games allow players to step into idolized realities, fulfilling unspoken desires. Ratchet and Clank 3 did exactly that for me. Even Insomniac Games design director Brian Algier acknowledged this when discussing the game's RPG elements.
The nice thing about having an RPG element is that players kind of get to pick their own path. People who do want to have a tough challenge can try to get through the game faster.
For me, that challenge wasn't just about finishing the game, it was about enjoying the journey with my brother. Lassan's theory of desire argues that we constantly chase something just beyond our reach, with the pursuit often being more compelling than the actual journey. This was especially true with Ratchet and Clank 3. My brother and I always wanted to finish the game, but we knew that we'd never be able to, even if we did rush our food. So we tested its mechanics. We'd find ourselves seeing how far we could swim in Florana before being eaten by the big fish, or trying to reach the out-of-bounds area in Annihilation Nation. This cycle of experimentation and discovery became its own form of desire for us. As James Paul G describes, video games create desire in their own form, where players complete personal goals and accomplish them in their own ways. Playing at the RSL created a loop of desire. Every visit was a fresh start, making progress feel significant. The reset save file prevented true completion, reinforcing an endless drive for us to keep playing. A few years later, our grandpa gifted us a PlayStation 2. This was very exciting, as I could play the game for as long as I wanted, reach the end, upgrade every weapon, experience the narrative, see every planet. But something was missing. Without constraints, the thrill of pursuit had faded. The goal was achieved, but the desire was gone. Lassan describes this as object patir, the unobtainable object of desire. We believe we want something, but once we get it, we realize that the journey was more satisfying than the end result. So why did we keep playing Ratchet and Clank 3? What made us return to the RSL knowing the progress would be erased? Intrinsic motivation is described as an individual's desire to perform a task for its own sake. For me, Ratchet and Clank 3 was appealing because the sense of adventure and exploration kept me engaged. The bond with my brother made the game meaningful beyond just the gameplay, and the game's humor and mechanics made it fun to play, no matter how many times we restarted. Contrast that with extrinsic motivation, which refers to external factors that influence engagement. This included the ritual of playing at the RSL, the repetitive resets making each session feel like a new adventure, and my brother's engagement, motivating me to return. This was our shared experience, something we didn't have elsewhere. In games, narratives foster emotional connection, mechanics maintain engagement, and aesthetics enhance the control, keeping players interested. These elements were a key reason why Ratchet and Clank 3 stood out. For instance, the orange and yellow hues of Veldin aren't just visually striking. As research shows, they invoke joy, anticipation, and excitement. These colours create a sense of energy and adventure, making the game feel welcoming and full of possibility right from the start. The in-game soundtrack, paired with the soft CRTV buzz, created a distinct sensory experience that I still associate with excitement and fun. Research shows that music evoked nostalgia strengthens social connectedness and self-esteem. The music didn't just enhance the gameplay, it made every moment feel grand, turning simple actions into memorable, cinematic experiences. These elements work together to pull me into the world of Ratchet and Clank 3, making each playthrough feel fresh, exciting, and impossible to forget. Ratchet and Clank 3 was more than just a game. It was a shared quest, a challenge, and a ritual. The enjoyment was never in finishing, but in the pursuit itself. Games are not always about the finish line. They draw us back, not for closure, but for the experience. And sometimes that's what makes them so unforgettable.